Deep inside the ground, there lives an ant named Z. Unlike other ants of his colony, Z feels out of place and strives for a better future. Z lived an anxious childhood where he was neglected by his mother. Of course, he would be, as he had 5 million siblings. Z is done with his life being wasted in the ant colony. He doesn't want to dig mud and lift stones here and there. He wants to explore the world outside. His psychiatrist has heard all of his thoughts and believes that Z is insignificant. He doesn't qualify as a normal ant. After getting this heartbreaking statement, Z gets back to his work. He isn't competent at all and struggles with even the smallest task. Luckily, his co-worker Azteca is a kind lady and helps him out now and then. They were having a little chit-chat when the supervisor called them to gather. They are about to form a huge ball and break down the bigger stones. Azteca reminds him of how to complete the task successfully, but Z feels really nervous. He gets a place in the ant rope and holds Azteca's hands tightly. It goes well in the first hit, but then Z starts feeling nauseous. He's about to throw up and must let go of the other ants. As soon as he breaks the chain, the ant ball falls down brutally. The army's leader, General Mandible, witnesses this careless incident and calls the worker ants a bunch of losers. He's a rude guy with strict rules. He orders the supervisor to complete the digging task within the deadline, no matter how hard it is. Afterward, he calls in his advisor, Colonel Cutter. Mandible believes that the termites colony is planning to attack the ants. Before they do, the ants must attack them instead. Mandible orders the army to prepare and meets the Queen to get her permission. The Queen feels really sad at hearing about termites' betrayal. These colonies have been living in peace for a long time, but for the safety of their future, they must declare war. Mandible's fiancée, Princess Bala, is shocked at the news too. She wants to talk to Mandible a little more and wants to know him better before the marriage. But Mandible doesn't seem to have much time. Bala doesn't like this suffocating palace life. She wants to live freely with the working ants. On the other side, the workers envy the royals. One of them is Z. He sits down with his friend Corporal Weaver and speaks all his heart out. He wants to change his fate and take a huge step, but doesn't know how. He wonders if there exists a place where he truly belongs. Suddenly, an old ant beside him reveals a shocking fact. There's a place called Insectopia. It's like heaven for ants. They can live freely there without any colony restrictions and get unlimited food. Other ants don't believe the old guy, but Z is deeply fascinated. He already begins to dream about seeing the Insectopia. While he's lost in thoughts, the music plays and all the ants start dancing in synchronization. Z doesn't feel like joining them and stays in his seat. He doesn't know that Princess Bala has come there secretly and wishes to dance with him. Seeing her beauty, Z can't refuse her, and they step onto the dance floor. Z knows a bunch of unique dance moves and teaches them to Bala as well. They stand out in the crowd, and the soldiers come to inquire. Bala argues for Z, and it triggers the soldiers. They start throwing fists, and other ants join in too. The dance floor turns into a complete mess. The royal guards come to search for the princess. Bala needs to rush out, but Z wants to know when they can meet again. Bala has only one answer: never. Before leaving, Bala gives a little peck on Z's cheek, and it is enough to make Z fall in love. He can't concentrate on work and keeps thinking about Bala while singing romantic songs. He spends hours waiting for Bala at the bar, but she doesn't show up again. Finally, he decides to take a huge step. He sneaks into the soldiers' area and wakes up Weaver in the middle of the night. Z has heard that the soldiers are going to greet the royals at the palace. He wants to temporarily switch places with Weaver and get a chance to see Bala again. Z has gone totally blind in love and doesn't realize the danger he's putting himself in. The next morning, Z excitedly marches along with the soldier ants. They gather at the palace and the royals wave at them. Z tries his best to get Bala's attention, but she couldn't spot Z in such a huge crowd. After the greetings, Mandible delivers his speech against the termites. He believes that the soldier's individual life doesn't matter. He lives, fights, and dies for the sake of the ant colony. Z doesn't take the words seriously and thinks that they are going back to their rooms afterward. In fact, they are going to the battlefield right now. Z starts to panic and tries to run away. Every attempt to escape is useless right now. It's too late. The soldiers march towards the termite log and jump into the fight. Z is pushed inside too. He's praying for his life and hides behind his fellow soldier Barbatus. The termites are 10 times bigger than ants and attack from all 4 sides. The nasty, huge creatures are taking down dozens of ants in one hit. Barbatus throws a stick toward Z and advises him to fight for his life. He's not courageous enough to do that. Z runs away instead and falls into a hole. When he manages to climb back, the war has already ended. The corpses of ants and termites are lying everywhere. Suddenly, he hears his name. It's Barbatus. He has lost his body in the battle. Before dying, Barbatus advises Z to not do the mistake he did. Instead of following orders like Barbatus, Z should do something for himself. After saying the last goodbye to the brave soldiers, Z heads back to his colony. Mandible is glad to hear that they destroyed the enemy, and he doesn't bother about the sacrifice the poor soldiers made. However, he's surprised how Z made it back. He takes him to greet the colony. Everyone is cheering for Z. He has become a war hero. The Queen also wants to meet them. Z doesn't feel that the war idea is right. It's such a loss to sacrifice a huge number of ants for this. Mandible doesn't want him to talk and grabs his mouth. Z breaks away and rushes to talk to Princess Bala. She finally recognizes him and confesses everything in front of the Queen. Mandible is not happy to know that a worker danced with his fiancée. He orders to take Z into custody. He asks Bala for help, but Mandible accuses him of trying to abduct Bala. Z can't find a way out and decides to use Bala as a hostage. The princess fights back and she slips down the trash hole along with Z. The guards rush to catch them. Suddenly, a huge magnifying glass appears from nowhere and starts burning down the insects. The guards die, but Z and Bala succeed in escaping. Bala blames everything on Z. She went to the bar just for fun and never had any interest in worker ants. Z gets angry and regrets falling for a selfish princess like Bala. He doesn't want to get into another mess and decides to travel toward Insectopia. Bala makes fun of him, but then she realizes the danger around her. She rushed after Z as well. They get near the lake and drink some water. The poor insects also get stuck in a water drop, but all those difficulties can't make Z lose his determination. He takes a leaf and invites Bala for a ride to the other side. He promises to take her back to the palace if they can't find Insectopia. Bala has nothing much to lose. She can either be a queen and give birth every 10 seconds or go on an adventure with Z. Definitely, the latter is a better option. Meanwhile, at the ant colony, the news of Z has spread around in different versions. The only ones who personally know him are Azteca and Weaver. They tell everyone that Z is a hero who dared to do something different. Just like him, they don't have to do what they are told to. They can be anything they want. This triggers a revolution all around. The workers rebel against their supervisors and ask for Z to be their leader. Mandible knows how to handle anything that comes his way. He declares Z a selfish ant who ran away and kidnapped the poor princess. The worker ants should concentrate on the given project. Once it's completed, they will have more food and holidays. The innocent ants get convinced easily. They are not as creative as Z Bala, and Z have already crossed the lake and reached the humans' picnic point. After seeing the food, they assume it to be Insectopia they heard about. Z can't remove the cling film from the sandwich and asks for help from the wasps flying by. The wasp couple takes pity on them and agrees to provide them with some food. Before they could, a human hit them with a fly swatter. The female wasp dies on the spot while the ants run for their lives. The human steps on them with his joggers and Bala gets stuck to the chewing gum. Z rushes to save her and gets on the shoe. Soon he gets stuck along with Bala. The human removes the gum with a coin and throws it in the trash. Z's friends aren't in a better condition either. Weaver and Azteca are taken into custody. Mandible beats them up and asks for Z's whereabouts. Weaver guesses Z may have gone to look for Insectopia as he was always talking about it. Other soldiers laugh at the idea, but Mandible doesn't. He knows Insectopia is a real place and Z has found it. It's the dumpster. The dumpster at the picnic spot is full of food for insects. Z and Bala enjoy the best time of their life and eat a huge variety of food. At night, they sit beside the fire along with the other bugs. Bala thanks Z for bringing her out of that suffering colony. She never knew the trouble workers and soldiers were going through. She really admires Z and is falling in love with him. They were about to kiss, but the other insects interrupted them. They ask Z to fetch some wood. While he goes for that, Cutter flies there and takes Bala back to the colony. Luckily, Z finds the wasp again and asks for a ride. Bala is being taken to Mandible. He locks him up and continues his plan. No worries, Z is rushing to save her. Luckily, the guards don't recognize him and he gets inside easily. Then he climbs up through the windows and reaches where Bala is. After looking at Mandible's written plan, they realize his evil intentions. He plans to drown away all the worker ants and start a new colony with the soldiers. The tunnel he ordered to dig is leading to the lake. Mandible has blocked all the worker ants along with the queen and escapes from the colony. Bala goes to tell everything to the queen and Z rushes to stop the diggers. They take it too long to trust him and water starts to flow inside. The ants run for their lives and gather around the queen. Z comes forward and ensures everyone they still got a chance. They need to build an ant ladder to break out from the top. They all start gathering and form a huge pile. At the top, Z creates an opening. Mandible can't believe that these are the worker ants whom he considered weak and useless. He still wants to kill them, but Cutter gets in the way. He regrets following orders, and now he wants to do what feels right to him. The soldiers pull up all the ants, but in this attempt, Z falls down into the water. Cutter flies back to save him and brings Z to the top. He has stopped breathing. Everyone feels sad at the loss of their real hero. Bala is not ready to accept this and gives Z CPR. Surprisingly, he wakes up. Everyone cheers for them and looks forward to a brighter future. Z may be living in a similar colony once again, but this time he chose it by himself. If you really want to change, you have to be that change.